I have had enough of the horror stories of people costing themselves tens of thousands of dollars when making a home purchase. So in this video, I'm going to cover the top 5 mistakes that I see quite often and how to avoid them. So keep watching. What is happening, everybody? This is Austin Weiss, your go-to real estate agent right here in the Chicagoland area. If you're new to my channel or returning, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap that bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. I do a ton of content all about what it's like to work, eat, live, and play right here in the Chicago Metro. So today's video is going to be covering the top 5 mistakes that I hear home buyers making from working with other agents or from horror stories from previous purchases that people that I work with have made. And we're going to be covering what not to do when going to purchase a house. So without any further delay, let's hop into this video. All right, first and foremost, I see people all the time that are not intentional with their time nor their real estate agent's time. So every now and again, I encounter someone on a Zoom call or in-person meeting that says that they've been looking for a house for years. And I always scratch my head and go, well, how many homes have you looked at? And they say dozens, 50 plus homes, 60 plus homes. And I just start shaking my head. So here's what you want to do, because I have people reach out to me 6 months, a year, years in advance to put together a plan for their move to a new area or to a specific neighborhood. So be very intentional with your time, put together a plan, and figure out exactly what you want in a house, or at least have an idea of what you want in your next house. So whether that's a certain square footage, a specific neighborhood, or a specific style of house, put together that plan, and that will save you a ton of time, frustration, and you won't lose your patience. So here's a quick tip. Go drive the areas and the neighborhoods that you could see yourself and your family living in. Identify those neighborhoods, go eat at those restaurants, play at those parks, and see yourself living there. Narrow it down to your top 2 or 3 spots, and then go and find a house in those areas. And when you're shopping for a house, you want to be very, very intentional, because if you're looking at houses on one side of town, it's possible that there's another house that's more right for you on the other side that's being looked at by someone and it's going under contract, and then you're going to miss out on that opportunity. So definitely sit down with your real estate agent beforehand, before you ever go look at a house. Put together a plan of attack so that you're utilizing your time to the best of your ability. Okay, mistake number 2 is people do not budget. So really what you want to do is figure out how much house you can afford. You never want to go shopping for a house without knowing what your budget is. So figure out how much house you can afford, and better yet, what your monthly payment wants to be based on your income level. Because you wouldn't want to be house poor, not be able to save for retirement, go on vacations, and enjoy life. So you definitely want to figure out what your monthly payment should be based on your income. Next, you want to figure out what the costs of homeownership are. So I'm talking about utilities, insurance, maintenance items, and anything else that you have when you're buying a house. You want to figure out what your monthly budget is for that as well. And then closing costs. Yeah, just like anything else you buy in this world, there's going to be extra fees and transfer taxes with purchasing a house, so you'll want to budget for that as well. If you want to know more about how to save for a house, you can watch my video right here, along with my closing cost video, which I will link down in the description box below. On top of all of that, you definitely want to have an idea for repair and renovation costs. I've never had someone move into a house and just not touch the house. You're going to want to make a room or 2 your own, if not just completely gut it eventually. And okay, mistake number 3 is overlooking the mortgage process. It's time to get your finances in order. Basically, your mortgage rate and your mortgage pre-approval is going to come down to your debt to income ratio, your income, and of course your credit score. So you want to get your paperwork in order, pay stubs, tax returns, and any financial statements. I would highly recommend you talk to at least a few different lenders to try to see who's going to give you the best rate, the best program, and obviously who communicates well. Let me say that one more time. The one lender that communicates well and is the right fit for your personality style. So when you chat with these lenders, figure out what programs they're offering, because there's plenty of first-time homebuyer programs out there. There's other programs for veterans, doctors, and teachers as well. So if you're in one of those career fields, definitely ask about that. You want to have a discussion with them about what amount of down payment is comfortable for you, that you can afford based on your monthly payment, and the amount that will keep you out from paying PMI, and that will reduce and alter your interest payment. Also ask about discount points, so you can pay a fee up front to reduce your interest rate, so that 30 years from now your interest rate will be much, much lower for a small upfront fee. That's a good idea as well. And I can't stress enough, do not go out looking at homes without a pre-approval, because if you fall in love with a house and then go try to get pre-approved, someone else will swoop in, put a contract on that house, and you'll miss out on your favorite house. So you'll never want to go shopping for a house without a pre-approval, because you will include that with any offer you make. Number 4, people skip the due diligence. So you want to get everything in writing, especially on the agreement with a home seller. You know, first page here in Illinois, you'll have everything included in the house. I'm talking about window treatments, carpets, appliances, you name it. It'll be right there on the first page. If you want any personal property included, you can definitely write that into the agreement as well. I've had snow blowers included, pool equipment, pool tables in the basement, you name it, you can have it thrown in. Secondly, you do not want to forego the home inspection. Now, this will be part of the whole budgeting process I talked about earlier in the video. It's going to be several $100s to do a home inspection. You're going to want to know what is wrong with the house before moving into it, because 6 months down the line, after closing on the house, you're not going to want to find out that there's a bunch of mold in the attic, a crack in the foundation, after you spend tens of thousands of dollars to purchase the house. So it's well worth it for a few $100s up front to do a home inspection, know what needs to be fixed in the house before you go and sign all the paperwork. Okay, last but certainly not least, number 5, I see people working with the wrong agent consistently. You know, it's not just calling the agent off the sign in front of a house you want to go see and then working with that person, but you want to be intentional with who you're working with, because not all agents are created equal, people. And I'll just leave it at that without getting into too much detail. So you want to interview your agent right up front. Make sure that you guys are on the same page, your personalities mesh, and that you guys are going to have a mutually beneficial relationship working together to find you your dream house. So what you don't want to do, like I said, call an agent off the sign, end up going to see dozens of houses without having an idea of who you're working with up front, putting together a plan, being intentional with your time. And more oftentimes than not, you end up looking at dozens of houses with a random agent, or worse, you find the right house, you put in an offer, and because the agent doesn't have the right skill set, you actually miss out on purchasing that house. So when I Zoom call with people or meet with people up front before we ever go look at a house, I identify exactly why you're moving, what you want out of your experience, what your time frame is, your criteria, and your budget, and I work with you to make sure that it's a perfect process and it's as stress-free as possible. And I cannot stress that enough. You want to make sure you're working with the right person when you're looking to buy a house and spending tens of thousands of dollars. But if you ever have any questions about buying, selling, or investing in real estate here in the Chicagoland area, I'm always available by phone, text, email, days, nights, weekends, and I would love for the opportunity to talk with you about your housing dreams. So until next time, I'll catch you guys later.